Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 5th round of the GPVWC career ladder. Tonight is Formula Challenge at the lovely track of Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona, Spain. Tonight I am joined by one Matthew Williams. Say hello, sir.
Greetings one and all.
And doing cameras tonight, as always, is Mr. Lewis Redshaw. Say hello.
Good evening.
Right, gentlemen, we have a very interesting event coming up. As again, just say apologies for the slight delay in this broadcast. We are 4 minutes into qualifying. We were not quite ready. We are now, so we're now underway in qualifying. The first lap's coming in. Scott Beresford, provisional pole on 28.6. But with 10 minutes remaining, there's plenty to go on.
Absolutely. Pace in free practice and the official practice just before we started here in qualification. The quick folks around the 1 minute 28.67. We did have Mr. Peter Burlak, who dominated China in race 1 last time out. He was a good 7/10 or so quicker than that. But it looks like a really close spread of cars right now as we go into, the 10th minute here of qualifying.
You saying about Peter Burlak dominating? He did indeed dominate last round in China. He managed to get pole position in qualifying. He then got fastest lap in race 1 and took the win in race 1 as well. In race 2, he started, I believe it was 16th, 17th after the reverse grid. He then got fastest lap, but on the penultimate lap, he had a disconnection which was very bad for him, seeing as he was leading the race by a good couple of seconds. But that did give Philip Koenig for Aerostream his first win of the season.
Indeed, well deserved. You know, it's the right place, right time with some of these things. But having been on the grid in China, watching Petter drive around, honestly, he'd absolutely nailed the car setup. And it looks like he's done the same here today.
Indeed.
And in fact, as we've been speaking, he is in fact gone quickest by 10.
But he's still currently around 8/10 off his fastest that we saw in practice.
Yes, indeed. We'll just have to see how the final few moments here play out. Let's not discount a number of other people, of course, as we come into this 5th round. We have James Johnson leading the championship by some 30+ points, so don't discount him. And we've got a whole host of fast drivers in amongst the field. It's a great field this year of drivers. And we've also got some new faces as well for this round.
Indeed, I believe for Playseat Racing, taking over your seat.
Yep, quite right.
Is Nico Schweinzer. I hope I pronounced that properly. I believe he won the Open Series race last round. I can't quite remember. I'm sure I was told that. I was also told that he was running low on fuel, so he had to conserve that on the final lap, which is absolutely brilliant.
Well, and it's great to see drivers graduating from the Open Series across up into the career ladder here in Formula Challenge, and who knows where they may go.
Indeed. If you manage to impress people, then you more than likely will get a seat. As I have done myself. I don't know how I've managed to impress people with my driving, but let's get on with the qualifying here. As Peter Burlak still on pole from Scott Beresford and Jesper Tolberg are your top 3 provisionally. If you'd like to get in touch during tonight's event, you can do so by using Twitter, by using the hashtag GPVWC, or tweeting me at TomJakes. Or do you want to use yours, Matthew?
Yes, why not? You can tweet me as well if you so wish during tonight at Chuggy. And instead of G's, I've got 9s now because someone got to that before I did on Twitter. Great shame. But also, you know, you've got the official GPVWC account as well. Oh, goodness gracious me, we have a few cars around turn 5, 6, 7. Let's see, Mr. Burlak then at P1, but a few cars there having a little moment qualifying, but with 7 minutes to go they'll have time to recover though.
Indeed. Track temperature is currently 25 degrees, not the hottest we've seen it so far this season, but it gives them a few chances to get qualifying laps in on those tyres before having to pit and put on a new set of nice clean tyres.
Absolutely, and that of course could be a factor to bear in mind this evening. Last year's Formula Challenge race, tyre wear was a real issue around here and pit stops were a factor.
Indeed it was.
We may have that as a variable for this evening. We will have to wait and see. I did a few laps earlier and my tyres would have just about made it, as they would have done in Malaysia, but that was my setup. Who knows what these guys have been working on.
Indeed.
No doubt something better.
Speaking of the races, we have 2 races tonight, 2 17-lap races. No need to pit, but as you said earlier, or just now, that the tyre wear may be a bit higher than we have seen on usual tracks. We may see the first couple of pit stops this season.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a very unique racetrack here. You know, it's very popular, say, amongst the real-life Formula 1 teams and such for testing. So you've got a real variety of corners, of course. Here you've got high speed, you've got low speed, you've got corners which require balance, mechanical grip. You've got corners which require, of course, a bit of downforce to help get you through there. And to match that all together, you've got long straights, you've got short bursts. You've got a little bit of everything here, which is really nice. And I think all in all, the most compromised car will do well here. You know, the one which can manage all those different flavours. But we can see already in the timings, there's cars which are quicker in one sector, slower than others. So it should be fascinating in the race to see who moves where.
Indeed, indeed. Last year I went with a high wing setup, but I did know people who basically just took the wings off and still got the same amount of time, even a little bit more pace, which I can't comprehend. I'm just looking, in 10th position is Nico Schweitzer. He's currently off track at, I believe, turn 9.
That's turn 9 there.
Yes.
We had Scott Beresford out there as well. It's a tricky place. Didn't quite see what happened there, but looks to be trying to recover sensibly there, which is good to see.
I think he's 1 low on fuel, or 2 just trying to let people through so he can return to the pit safely. Is he speeding up? A little bit.
Well, if he is leaving a gap, he's got a lovely gap there. He's pretty much got the whole sector to himself. But I would say he's possibly low on fuel, or has some form of damage perhaps, given he hasn't sped up.
And of course, he has to make it back to the pits to remain in qualifying. If drivers escape whilst not in the pit lane, then they should have their qualification session should be over. If not, if they've returned to track, they will receive a 10-place grid penalty for the next round.
Yes, as we approach, 4.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session, just to give you a quick rundown of our top 5 at the moment, it has remained unchanged, although the times have. So Peter Burlak has gone a slightly faster, he's done a 1 minute 28.4, Scott Beresford a 1 minute 28.6, Jesper Tolberg then follows him in the Smile Power racing car with a 1 minute 28.7, and then he is followed by Jonathan Holmes with a 1:28.8. And then he is followed home by David Junt, THR, with a 1 minute 28.9, so very close. And in fact, as I say,
Peter Burlak has gone faster, 1:27.9.
So even though he had a few attempts in hand there, he's still pushing the car to make sure he absolutely gets everything out of it, what we like to see.
Over a half a second quicker than second place man Scott Beresford. And I will say, Scott Beresford has definitely impressed me this season, with many podiums already in this season. I mean, last year he was, I'm not going to try and be mean here, but he was kind of fighting just for points at the bottom of the points, and to come through and now fighting podiums, he kind of wins now, even though I kind of... Oh, James Johnson just gone second. Oh,
good spot indeed.
He is just over 200ths faster than Scott Beresford, third. But a full, still half a second off Peter Burlak. It's incredible how he's just got that much speed.
Well, I think as with China, he's clearly got that car set up well. Clearly got a nice balance between all the different types of corner and section we've got here at Catalunya, and he's making it work. And as we saw with China, if he can convert that into race pace, it's not just a qualifying pace, I'm sure he will be winning races again this evening. We'll have to wait and see.
Indeed so. So we have just over 2.5 minutes remaining. Qualifying session. Just having a look down the bottom end of the back marker brigade, not at the back. That is both good to see and disappointing. They're not living up to their name quite so much, but progression is progression, and it's just very nice to see that they are indeed progressing.
Also, another thing to quickly mention: Fran Lopez has moved up into 5th place with a 1 minute 28.8. That may have been his last lap. And it was his fastest time as well. Excellent, good. But But keep an eye. We've got a fair few drivers still contending. For example, I'm watching P7 man David Junt in the THR. He's on a lap at the moment, just going through turn 9 to the end of sector 2. Looking pretty tidy, pretty quick so far. We'll have to see if that gets converted. Of course, as we've had someone else move up, Roy Verzilli. Verzil, I believe. Sorry about that. In the Zedric Racing car, another 1 minute 28.8. Got an incredible. Got several cars there, all split by less than a tenth, from 8th all the way to 4th, almost at 3rd. 2 tenths in it across those 4 cars. Quite something.
I mean, 2nd down to 17th is covered by a 2nd.
Yeah, it's very
close field, indeed, and I'm going to enjoy the battles that will be going on in race 1.
Absolutely.
People trying to get into points. Beresford is just taking 2nd position.
He's just taken 2nd back. He's gone a little bit quicker than Johnson there.
He's getting a 10th overall on his time. Well, it looks fit. Yes, he's probably on his final lap now if he decides not to back out of it.
Indeed, and timing is critical with these things, of course. You can do as many laps as you've got fuel in the car here in this qualifying session, and it may be a case of whoever's out last, gets the warmest track, the nicest bit of free air, can really convert that and make something of the opportunity.
But I've also found that on these option tyres, your best run is normally your first run. As you get to the end of your 2nd lap, the tyres just seem to drop off and overheat, and you end up losing close to half a second just in the final chicane alone. So it's all about tyre management, tyre temps, who's got them correctly pressured.
Absolutely, and it looks like Scott's just backing out of this one here, probably just going to return to the pits with the time remaining.
He's gone the long way around turn 10 hairpin.
Indeed.
As the qualifying session is now over, people who are on lap can finish theirs.
I believe David Yunt will be the first person to cross the line. He's in P8 at the moment. Can he improve? So he's in the top 5 for a long time. Will he improve? He does indeed improve, but not enough to go up another position. We've now got another car with a 128.8. It's quite something. That little pack just behind the podium position is clearly going to be highly contested in race 1, which will make for a cracking race.
Indeed. Looking at Peter Burlak's time, I think he's going to be safe unless anyone can completely surprise us all. Because I'm not seeing anybody go faster within the top 13. Oh, actually, I did see someone. I think it was Fran Lopez up to 5th or 120. Oh, down to 6th. There's Jonathan Holmes, sorry, does a 128.680, just behind his teammate James Johnson in 3rd.
Another mover and shaker, we've got James Kirk up to 10th now with a 129.1.
I think that's going to be the battle for the top 10. Peter Brolak takes another stunning pole position.
And I believe that may be everyone, as I think everyone is now filing into the pit lane.
Indeed so. I think that's the end of qualifying.
Lovely stuff. So, as we've said, Petter clearly getting the car set up well again. Takes pole position, 1 minute 27.9. From Scott Beresford, a 128.5. And 3rd place, James Johnson, a 128.5 as well.
As we were speaking of the Open Series earlier on in this commentary, Chuggy, or Matthew Williams, sorry, I do apologise for that.
Call me either.
It's just that I've known you for 7 years and I've always known to be calling you Chuggy. It's a bit of a change calling you Matt for once. Yes, the Open Series race, which happens just before the Formula Challenge qualifying, starts just before then, is over with Casper Onwin, I hope I pronounced that correctly, has taken the win from Sven Smits and, oh, I'm going to get this name wrong, Timu Valkijärvi, all within a second.
What we like to see. Well, congratulations there to Casper. Another person for your all you team bosses to be perhaps keeping an eye on for this season. Next season, who knows?
Their fastest lap was a 1:30.9. I believe that would actually get them within this grid.
Lovely stuff. Well, we're now moved, of course, into our pre-race warm-up now that qualification has been completed. Lots to potentially think about for the race here. Obviously, you know, track is 3 very distinct sectors, lots of variation, and we have seen cars doing, different times in different sectors, being a little quicker here, a little slower there. I think we're going to be in for an interesting race.
Indeed. I just received our first tweet from our team boss, Cameron Brewster, just saying just to call you Chuggy, for God's sake. That's his words, so if you have any problem with my language, go to Cameron Brewster. Thank you very much for that tweet.
And yes, please do feel free to keep tweeting us, be it at the GPVWC account using hashtag FC for Formula Challenge, or at either at Tom Jakes or at Chuggy, 9s instead of Gs, and we'll be more than happy to discuss any questions or anything at all you may have.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, last round we didn't get any tweets at all. That was kind of disappointing.
That's a shame.
We had nothing to talk about. We just sat there twiddling our thumbs in the intermission. Kind of like we are doing now.
If I had a Twitter button on my wheel as I was driving around, getting my starts all practiced last night, I'd tweet, look, my starts aren't working. That would have been something to discuss. Oh well.
Oh yeah, you're bringing up the starts. I can't remember if I've mentioned this before, but these Formula Challenge cars must use launch control. It is there for safety and to stop first lap instance. Though I don't know, because as soon as your launch control is deactivated, then it's just all up to the driver then. That's when things usually go wrong.
Absolutely, and as with, like, for example, the ERS system we have in Formula 1 these days, getting that launch control start just right is critical, getting away from the line. In China I had a problem in race 1 and went back 14 or so positions. So it's going to be critical, even though you have launch control, you've got to make sure that the car's set up properly to use it to its fullest and to get the car obviously off to a good start. But of course there's been Catalonia, quite a long run to turn 1, and it's a fairly heavy braking zone. It's not the tightest of corners, but there's still little anti-cuts and little sausage curves to be aware of, so you don't want to mess up that corner too much, or else you may be facing damage very early on. And
damage very early on is something you do not want.
Yes, absolutely, that can royally ruin your race. I can speak from experience on that.
So can I. I remember doing a Super League race a couple of weeks ago, got damage on the rear. I don't think it was too much damage, it was perfectly fine on the options. So as I put the primes on, then I noticed it. Of course, it was after my final pit stop, I couldn't get it repaired, so I had to kind of man up and deal with it.
As you have to sometimes with these things, as you have to. But now it'll be interesting to see if tyre wear is a factor. Obviously cars with different setups, be it high wing, low wing, how they all go through the various sectors here. In general, racecraft, of course, this very, very experienced field, a lot of very experienced drivers, some new faces, as we have mentioned. And it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. And we have a minute and 40 seconds-ish remaining here in our final warm-up before the race, and with a few laps to complete for these guys here, possibly just doing a little high fuel running, getting used to the car with probably 50, 60, perhaps more litres of fuel on board, getting used to just how it reacts, because, well, I'm sure, Tom, as you will be able to elaborate on from Supercup or Formula Challenge last year, the cars do change in personality.
Yes.
Just a little bit of extra weight in the back of the car.
Indeed, indeed they do. I mean, usually with fuel weight, you'd be about a second to a second and a half off your qualifying time, maybe even a little bit more. But it's also the weight transfer, you definitely feel it a lot more, the tyres wear out a bit quicker than you expected. Absolutely.
Mentioning a second off, James Johnson's currently gone quickest here in our warm-up. Well, a second and a tenth off his fastest in qualifying there. Absolutely spot on, and as you say, it's just getting the fuel accelerated, getting it stopped. It costs you time everywhere, and of course can change that balance, all critical balance as well. And it's also in braking, you lock up a bit more, don't you? Of course. All the weight transferring to the front, locking up the tyres. It's not as bad as, like say, in R-Factor 2 or in real world where you lock up, your tyre becomes a 50 pence a piece and you really feel it, but it's more, it just takes away from the tyre percentage, and if you're trying to do a no stop, that could be quite crucial. I've just received a tweet from my brother, Matt Jacobs. Hi Matt. Didn't you end up upside down here last year? Yes, I did. Oh, well done. Yes, race 1. Big, not even first corner incident. Just didn't even make it down the straight, and I ended up upside down, then finished 27th. well, that's one way.
Or was it in the 30s?
Must have. I forget which round it was. I forget if it was the last round or the round before that. I do recall seeing a car on its roof, so you're not alone in these Formula Challenge cars. I've flipped one. Quite something to do though with obviously the ground and well, obviously you've got a lot of downforce from the wings.
I believe that there was also a few cars flipped upside down in Super League 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow!
Speaking of which, tomorrow is Super Cup, this middle tier in the GPVWC career ladder, with Thursday being occupied by the Super League, the top tier, for all the top dogs and all the fancy cars and parts and everything. So, warm-up is over, we're just waiting to transition to the first race. Going to check quickly to see if we've got any more tweets. I don't think we have.
Just got a few, as the grid is now being organised, just a few last moment messages between the drivers.
I did forget something, I knew I was going to forget it. The penalties from last round.
Ah, good shout.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 time penalties. You for race 1, Chuggy.
Yes.
All non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Thank you, our factor man, for interrupting me. We have Tommy Oyala, 20 seconds added in race 1. Race 2 is Jonathan Holmes, 20 seconds, with Wopke Hoekstra as well. And, Wopke Hoekstra got 2 20-second penalties, so 40 seconds. Patrick Van der Muller was disqualified from both race 1 and 2 because he did not have a valid contract. And Lewis McGlade has a 10-place grid penalty for this very race.
That being said, the grid is now being formed, drivers taking their positions.
We will wait for...
there we go. I was just about to say, Petter, our pole man, not joining the grid till very late on, but he's there now. It's the important thing now to set off.
And we will do a run through of the grid. If I do the top, how many drivers have we got? Let's take away 3. We have 35, I believe. If I do the top 17, you do, or if I do the top 18, you do the next 17?
Can do.
Right, on pole for Walk Racing is Petter Bruliak. Second for Enterprise GP is Scott Beresford, with James Johnson and Jonathan Holmes in 3rd and 4th for Tanscannon Racing. Jesper Tolberg is in 5th for Smile Power Racing, with Fran Lopez in 6th for Night Racing. Roy Verzel, 7th for Zederick Racing. A lot of racing's going on here. David Johns in 8th for THR, with Ollie Pelkonen in Viking Racing. I was told that it's pronounced Pelkonen. Who told me that, but thank you for telling me that. 10th is James Kirk for Bastvik Grand Prix, with 11th being Tommy Oyala for Smile Power Racing. Hansko Mebius in 12th for Enterprise GP, with Nico Schweitzer, sorry if I got that wrong yet again, for Playseat Racing in 13th. Ben Warren in 14th for Racing Team Schroeter, with Mark Wicks for Cantana Motorsport in 15th. 16th is John McLean in the Bastvik Grand Prix car. Matthew Klipp is 17th for Royal Blue Racing, and Wopke Hoekstra for the YTF1 is in 18th.
In 19th place we have Mr. Paul Joseph in the second Royal Blue Racing car. In 20th we have Patrick Wannemuller in the second Royal Racing car. In P21 we have Ben Hackison in the Viking Racing car. P22 we have Pedro Gomez in the Zedric Racing car. In P23 we have Timu Toika in the Velocity Racing for the Challenge car. There's still a lot of racing going on down here. In P24 we have Mike Schroden in the Racing Team Schroden car. We have in 25th Sam Jones in the Aurora Motorsports machine. We have in P26 Rob Mason in the YTF1 car. In P27 and P28 we have Simon Smith and Marco van der Broek respectively, both driving for the Back Market Brigade. In P29 we have Thomas Fadler for Team Proline. In P30 we have Ben Willis for Night Racing. In P31 Tim Strand for Playseat Racing. P32 Lewis McGlade for Aurora. P33 Rick Scott for JRT. P34 Ollie Woods for Velocity. And P35 Sven Smith in JRT. And that is your grid.
And that is nicely done, because Sven Smith is now rounding the final corner.
It was like it was planned from the start or something.
Indeed. Just trying to find a good camera angle to get out. I can't seem to find one at the moment. So, by the looks of it, the lights are coming on.
Grid is formed.
4, 5, and the race is underway. And Brulak gets a good start with Beresford to get a better one off the line. Brulak goes defensive into turn 1. Beresford trying around the outside. Can he make this work?
Late on the brakes. Lovely
he's gone
move.
wide. Johnson's gone round, he's lost his front wing as well. Borlak takes the lead again. Scott Beresford, Fran Lopez having a look on Jonathan Holmes for third position. And he's got that, made that stick.
Unfortunate there at the start between Beresford and Johnson. Beresford would need to be careful. He might have taken a small bit of damage there to his right rear suspension. We'll have to wait and see.
Just quickly, in 5th position, Nico Schweinzer from, was it 11th position?
Great start.
Yeah, indeed, a very great start. He's now going to try and hunt down Jonathan Holmes, who is, oh god, Fran Lopez third on the back of Beresford, trying to look for a way down on the straight. Ball's out to go down the inside. Beresford not defending too hard, but oh, he breaks a bit later. No contact. Beresford's going to have the traction off the corner, and he's up front.
Bit of drama. Bit of drama down at the back of the grid. We had John McLean, who was at P13, now P21, 22, 23. A real gaggle of 4 or 5 cars. And just got the brake slightly wrong and went onto the grass into turn 10. The hairpin there, and seems to be recovering.
Overall, it's been a relatively clean first lap, apart from James Johnson, who is currently on the back straight without front wing.
Jesper Tolberg, yep, Tolberg has just pitted in. Looks like he was missing a front wing there. Rob Mason benefiting up to 19th for him now.
And Fran Lopez through turn 1 has taken second position off Scott Beresford. Scott Beresford looking for a way to fight back. Not quite going to run this turn 3 corner. I think he's just going to hold out for the straight. Oh no, he goes for a lunge. Lunge in turn 4. He managed to get through. That's very well done. Very late braking there.
Nicely done.
Defend for turn 5. Sorry if I'm cutting across viewer.
Not at all. I was just about to mention, we've got a tasty little battle here forming up for P7.
Lopez push wide. Jonathan Holmes is going to have a little bit of a sniff coming into turn 7 and 8. No, he's backed off a bit. Lopez is going to be on the tail of Beresford. He's not going to be happy with Beresford pushing him off track on turn 5.
If I may, we've got a really properly little tasty little scrap going on now for P7. We've got Vasily, Cantonen, Kirk, Wicks and Hoekstra all in the hunt for P7. Got a nice 4-way battle, 5-way battle as Hoekstra catches up here. Keep an eye on this one. This may be brewing throughout the whole race.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the leaders again. There's a bit of separation between them, so I think we can look at that fight for 7th position. Roy Verza. Belkin having a bit of a look into the chicane.
These guys are all very front wing under gearbox of the next driver through sector 1, starting to spread out a bit here. We'll have to see if anyone can get a real move on as we head towards turn 1, long straight here. Plenty of opportunity to get a nice slipstream down. We've got Brazil ahead of, I believe that's Pulkman still, Kirk following in behind. Definitely want to keep an eye on it. Also another mover in P6 is David Junt making his way up. I think he may be catching Schweitzer there as Schweitzer is looking up catching up to Holmes in P4. So all going on off the start here.
Indeed. Well, Petter Brelak. Oh, he's made a miss. No, he's just locked James Johnson. Very bad luck for James Johnson there. That first lap contact. But Petter Brelak has currently a 1.4-second gap back to Scott Beresford, who is just a few tenths in the front of his third.
They're just looking a little bit back in the order, fights up and down the whole field. It's wonderful. Just calling one out here, if I can find the driver number, is we have a nice little battle going on. Oops, sorry.
So I was just going to say 15th, Patrick Vandermüller is under attack from Tommy Oyala into the turn 10 hairpin.
So we just had a lovely move for P21 and P22. We've got the undercut going on between Mr. Consai Smith, Simon Smith, and Lewis McGlade fighting all the way through here. We've got John McLean watching brief just behind as well, just in case of any dramas. But it looks like, oops, Mr. Smith has gone slightly deep into the start of the chicane section here. It looks like Lewis has lost out in acceleration. John McLean takes that place for P22.
Basically, John McLean got a bit sideways coming out the final corner. Could compromise his straight line speed.
Indeed. Now we've got a slipstream battle. Who can make the most of the toe? Looks like no one's really taking advantage as we go down towards turn 1, but looks like Lewis has got it done under braking. Just scraps up and down the field here.
Oh, Ben Warren in 11th with Watke Hoekstra in 12th. I thought it was a little bit closer than it actually was. It's a trick the camera, but they are quite close. Sure, there'll be some defending going on. Oh, Hoekstra just locks up going into turn 5. So Ben's got a good room. 16th, oh god, there's a gaggle cars. Toyo Yala, Patrick Van der Molle, Ben Ackerson and Sven Smits. Patrick Van der Molle, too wide round turn 8.
Go up into turn 9, there's only one way through there, and the board's up sensibly. But now we've got this huge slipstream down towards turn 10. Got Smith having a look, Hackerson having a look, and a defensive way. Yeah, oh, he's covered them both just about. Has Hackerson got the job done? Things are on traction on the inside. Oh, but one of the silly has let the car there on the inside for turn 12. Nicely done. Barely. Oh, a little touch there. A little touch. I don't think that would have hurt him too badly.
Oh, a bit of bumping there, front wing to the rear. Oh,
a little bit of lag there as well.
Sure, that was disorientate the drivers a bit.
Absolutely, that's the thing you want.
To see the car in front of you disappear and you just go, where the hell's it gone?
Everyone's just about made it through though.
And everyone's in the slipstream of each other, apart from Patrick Van der Molle, who's just left out. Hackerson goes down tries to go for the inside. Oh, he's had to back out of it.
Wisely there, very wisely. I don't think that door was always going to shut there. You don't want to stub your toe. As here goes Smits, he's taking the opportunity there. Snuck it up the inside. And I think that may be a position there as we get the braking done, heading into turn 4. Oh no, Hackerson's left it late. Oh, that's very nice. But hang on, we may have, I think that's Hoekstra. Hoekstra? No, it's Smits. No, that's not Smits. It's, oh gosh.
Well, you look
Rob Mason.
Rob Mason, yeah. Took
there eventually. Lovely little scrap here.
Rob Mason's now got into the battle now. He's looking to capitalise on Smith and Hackerson battling, as Patrick Van der Molle just says, thank you lot for battling, I'm jogging on now. Svitz is now... Did I say Switz? I won't say Smits. I do apologise for that. Rob Mason going quite wide there. Keeping the car on track. It's down the inside of Hackerson. 18th. 17th even. And he's got it done. Hackerson's got the traction on the outside. Hackerson's really good at defending this.
Lovely stuff. They clean there. Your little nudge, but you know, no one's really lost anything there. We have perhaps though a little scrap at front. The first 4 drivers are as they were, but we have Schweitzer and Junt now. Had a little move. Junt having a little look.
Just looking back down to 17th. Sven Smits managed to get past Hackerson. Rob Mason in the tail. Hackerson, I believe he went wide. Paul Joseph is now joined the battle as well. It's a 4-way battle for 17th. I think Smits is starting to pull away a bit around turn 3. He might have a bit more downforce, means he can keep the power on. Just pull away. Hackerson having to defend from Rob Mason.
Although it looks to me that Hackerson just carried a little more momentum through turn 4 there. Going into turn 5, that will help him.
Ooh, of course, sorry, I was just going to say P12, Mebius, Verzil, Schroten and Oyala fighting for what could be, I know I was going to say the final point, but Tommy Oyala is the final point at the moment. As Verzil goes wide, that's all right, Oyala through.
So Verzil was in 7th place a little while ago. He's lost his front wing. He lost his front wing somewhere. That's a bit of a disaster. We are coming up to the third of the way through the race mark here now. That is definitely going to drop him out of this one. It's a great shame.
I believe we were on lap 6. It was Roy Verzil. He's going to have to pit. He's quite off the track, and there is a rule. I don't know if it's still being enforced, but if you lose a car part, you have 3. As he pits, you have 3 laps to pit to get it repaired. Otherwise, you are disqualified.
There you go.
Pits sensibly.
And the other factor was that because he was slow through that little complex here, that gaggle of Smits, Hackerson and Mason are now a lot closer. They're now almost 3 wide down towards turn 1. Smits just ahead. Who's going to be brave on the brakes? Looks like Smits just.
Hackerson was going for it though, wasn't he?
Indeed, a little wiggle. Wiggle.
Oh, you almost got side by side with Hackerson, but just got...
Oh, that's a touch from Mason, but he just held onto that. That can ruin your race quite easily, a little oversteer step like that. No, nicely held there, nicely held.
Really nice driving we're seeing tonight.
Absolutely.
Everyone being fair within reason, no one being all argy-bargy.
And those aren't even for the points playing positions. If we go up to P15, Patrick Wannemuller is currently in the last points paying position, but we have Olger and Schroep just ahead, so there's an opportunity to grab a few more championship points. as they continue going towards turn 10.
I'm just looking at the field, 5th and 6th. David Johnson managed to get past Nico Schweinzer in 5th position, but Schweinzer's right on his tail. Going for the chicane.
Yeah, I'd say that perhaps Schweinzer is thinking about turn 1 as an opportunity. He's right under the gearbox on the exit. He's going to have a little bit of a swing out from the slipstream there, and let's see who's got the better gearing, who's long, who's short.
By the looks of it, it's Nico.
Just about, he's already ahead as we enter the braking zone.
Almost touching wheels there. Yeah, Nico's got that down into turn 1, and has managed to keep it nice for turn 2 as well.
Lovely stuff. Let's see if John can respond in the first couple of corners here. Little poke of the nose underneath. He's alongside just about. Later on the brakes, gets the car stopped turn 4. But Schweitzer's got the inside of the corner. He's got his car there. He's going to be on the preferred line. Giving him space.
Oh, I think Nico just braked on the grass a bit and got a bit wiggly.
Yeah, indeed.
He's managed to tuck it behind John. He hasn't lost too much from that. He'll have the slipstream down on the straight between turn 9 and 10.
Absolutely, as we approach Johnson, who's unfortunately a lapped car, following that little moment in turn 1 with with Beresford, nearly forgot then. And I'm sure Schweinzer, he knows he's got that top end speed advantage over John. He'll be thinking about turn 1 already and how he can bridge that gap, defend going into sectors 1 and 2 against that.
I've just seen that David John locked up into turn 10. That could wear his tyres out a bit. I think Nico might actually be change his mentality to let John, put John under pressure, don't overtake, but let him wear his tyres a bit.
That could be a good strategy. As we said earlier, tyre wear could be a deciding factor here. But as we cross the line here to start lap 8, Schweinzer, lovely toe, on the brakes. Lap 9 was it? My apologies. Yes. Into turn 1, job is a good. He's let it run out a little wide. John's immediately responding round the outside of 2 into 3. Lovely stuff. Can he keep the car tight? Yes, he can. Looks like that's going to be a done, sealed and delivered overtake there. Now if we take our eyes back a moment to more of the midfield, we've got a few more scraps going on. We've got in P12 Hansko Mebius challenging Wupke Hoekstra for P12 and P13 here, coming down the end of sector 1 into turn 5. Mebius looking for perhaps an outside route there, not going to quite work out that way round, so we swing through turn 6 down into turn 7. One way through here, you want to avoid that little sausage curve on the exit.
Oh, and Patrick Vandermuller is off the track. He's lost his front wing. I think he hit the back of Mike Stroton. Indeed, he did that. Just a small bit of contact. He's lost his front wing. He's going to have to pit and get that replaced. If he actually manages to get back around, yes, he is. Timo Choikon was run out the back of him around turn 9 there.
Yeah, very close. I mean, you're kind of almost a passenger at some points once the car's loaded up and everything else. There's not much more it could do.
Hansko Mebius, 12th, looking at Wupke Hoekstra down the inside for the final corner. Oh, that's a lovely move. Everyone giving each other enough space to make that stick. But
meanwhile,
this is straight line. Sorry to cut across you there, Matthew.
That's right.
It's neck and neck going into turn 1 here. Who's going to be brave on the brake? Oh, Mebius, bit of contact with Hoekstra. But Hoekstra managed to keep it. He's a bit slow around turn 2. Mebius is going to have a look down the inside. That's covered by Hoekstra. Now going to be a turn 4 thing. He looks down the inside. Space given. Oh, contact and Hoekstra's round. Oh, he's hold it. Oh, he spun. But he's managed to keep the car going. He didn't hit the wall, well, that hard from what I can see. He's currently down in 16th position now. Paul Joseph just taking the final point from him at the moment.
They recovered sensibly there as well. Obviously, perhaps a little bit of red mist, who knows. That's terrible, let's get back on it. But a good sensible moment of let's get our bearings and get going again sensibly.
Yeah, he just kind of locked up going into turn 7. Lost a bit of time to Paul Joseph, who's now kind of coming under attack from John McLean in 17th. Remember, from 16th to 20th is provisional or possible reverse pole for the next race. We should be able to fight in there. Rob Mason in 18th, back from Hankinson. That's actually back from Wupke Hoekstra. It's been overtaken by John McLean around the outside. No, Rocher keeps it. He's going to have to find another way around, probably turn 1.
Hey, speaking of turn 1, having just gone through turn 1, there is a lovely little battle continuing for positions 5 and 6 between Schweitzer and Judd. They've been trading places, little looks here and there. And as you were saying before, Tom, a little lock up there from Judd. That might just affect his tyre ever so slightly, but at the moment, it's like Schweitzer's got that car geared really nicely.
He got the back out there.
Just a bit, but controlled. Got the power down, he's been able to get out of that little situation there, but little back, keep an eye on, running over the curb there.
Yes.
The car was able just to handle that. But a great little scrap. Looks like John's going to have a perhaps a little cheeky look into turn 10, this hairpin. Looks like he's decided better of it though.
Someone's just spun up the track, I've just seen. That is Van der Broek and Back Market Brigade being lapped. I think he just spun it going into turn 10. Hopefully. I was battling with Johnson, I think. So yeah, Johnson.
Quite easy to do. One thing we haven't mentioned. Oh, Schweitzer! Little lock up there, perhaps on downshift. Oh, that is never nice. But moreover, he hasn't lost too much time. That was well held. As long as he can get on the back of John, I think we'll continue to have a fight there, or just a momentary lapse, I'm sure.
I think he's still in the slipstream, but he's got Pelkman catching him quite quickly. From what I can see, they're all within a second and a half for each other.
Looks like we're going to have another scrap before the end here, as we go through turn 3 towards turn 4. So I was literally just about to mention, especially heading down into that little chicane, turn 10 as well, there are some lovely, there are some horrible, I should say, little bumps around track, just in places where you don't want it, places like braking zones. And yeah, it can be very easy just to misjudge the braking points, run a little further into the corner than you perhaps normally would, and you are punished. Open wheel is of course very stiff suspension. It's, in fact, not much suspension at all, predominantly in the tyre. So of course you want to make sure that you can absorb those bumps, and make sure you get your braking done properly. By the looks of it, to my eye, Schweitzer is a little quicker through sector 2 there on John. We'll have to see how
I'm just looking at third and fourth. Fran Lopez and Jonathan Holmes fighting. Fran Lopez getting very twitchy on the rear, having a bit of a tank slap together.
Very close, going defensive immediately out of turn 16 there, but Honda's going to pick up that slipstream. We'll have to see who's got the top end. Looks like they're pretty even to me. Who's going to be last of the late breakers? Looks like Lopez.
Lopez at the moment. Holmes is going to try and set his car for turn 2, which he has done. He's gained a bit of time there.
Yeah, to just lift out a bit in 3. I think he may be running a little less downforce there.
And also being in the toe, it makes some downforce obsolete. So going around turn 3, you're going to have to lift, otherwise you're just going to understeer off the track onto the runoff area.
Indeed, just that little bit of dirty air can compromise your grip. With a little look there through turn 5, but you'll be very close to getting a move done there. But just place yourself in your opponent's mirrors, make them think twice. Maybe that little mistake, that gives you the opportunity to steal a march and take the place.
Lopez getting very close to Simon Smith there, being lapped. Very close, just trying to use up all the slipstream possible to pull away from Holmes. Currently half a second apart. You saw last lap that Holmes had the straight line speed. He's also got the sorry, I almost swore there. Also got the turn-in, the grip in slow corners that Lopez does not at the moment.
So we've got an interesting little fight forming here for P10 and 11. That's Olger and Mebius. Just going through the final sector here, through turns 13, 14, 15, and in a moment 16 through the chicane here. Olger very sideways out of that second chicane there, well held.
Sorry, but third, Jonathan Holmes is on the inside of Fran Lopez on turn 3. Lopez has got the speed going on the outside, and he's covered the position in turn 4.
Oh, but he's gone a little wide though. That will have opened the door for Holmes. He's definitely, he's got alongside 3/4, if not completely past. Lopez very late on the brakes. How on earth did he get that car stopped and not collect Holmes? Never know.
He only had one wheel lock, he's still got 3 good ones.
There you are. 75% of the battle done. As they follow each other through 7 and 8 up towards turn 9. Potentially another opportunity here for Holmes, who to me looks like he must be running a little less wing. May compromise him in some of the high speed corners, but get the run on these long straights. There again, just close up that little bit, prepare himself for the next overtaking opportunity.
Indeed. Of course, then battling is letting Scott Beresford pull away a bit. There's a 2.2, no, almost a 3-second gap.
Oh, sorry to cut across you, but P7 Schweitzer has locked up again down into turn 10. He's dropped down into 7th now. Pelkonen has got by him there. Great shame.
I'm just looking, Rivers' car seems to be lower than usual. I think he might have some rear damage.
That'd be a very good spot if you can spy that.
Johnson spun back marker, sorry. I'm never going to be used to saying that James Johnson's a back marker.
Yeah, a terrible shame, obviously, turn 1, just exactly not what you want to happen. Of course, race 2 at China last time out, we had quite the wing-down doodle in turns 1 and 2, which had quite a few cars involved in there, and of course that puts your plans for race victory and podiums and whatever else immediately to a good hiding. So that's racing for you. You have to make your own luck sometimes. But since we haven't mentioned him much, let's briefly mention Petter Burlak, now 8 seconds ahead of second place Scott Beresford, just clearly controlling the race from the front, controlling the car. At this point, I don't think he really needs to push that much.
Jonathan Holmes has managed to get past Fran Lopez for 3rd and 4th position. Lopez looking, a bit of a touch on the rear of Holmes there. Lopez just getting the tail out of that car.
Yeah, just heard that Lopez ran wide, possibly through turn 9. Just gave the opportunity, and Holmes is by. Now, if he does have less wing on that car, we should be able to see that pretty evidently here, round turn 16, onto the start-finish. He should be able to get a little bit of a gap down to turn 1. Let's see how these things pan out. Of course, the slipstream can negate some of the downforce that Lopez has got, speed him up a bit. It looks pretty even, although Lopez really in that slipstream now as we head towards the braking zone. Nice and sensible though, no late lunges, and both cars are stopped. Looks like he's got a much better balanced car through turns 1 and 2 there. Definitely gained a bit there as Holmes is looking, perhaps thinking about defending in turn 4. Of course, you get into the state of mind where you're more focused on the driver behind you, then you start making mistakes yourself and give them the opportunity. Meanwhile, Scott Beresford probably loving this, giving him a little bit of a breather. He's now got a 3-second gap exactly last time round from this little scrap here for the final podium position.
Lopez run the back of Holmes through turn 7 and 8.
Controlled though, that's all we like to see. Really pushing these cars to their absolute limit. We go through turn 9, downforce really working there. Holmes going to be vulnerable from the slipstream. Who's going to be late on the last of the late breakers? Holmes takes the defensive line. Lopez gets the better exit.
At that traction.
Look at that. Lovely start.
Straight through. Holmes is looking for a bit of a retaliation.
He's inside. He's inside.
Got the gap, but he couldn't make anything of it.
There's not enough traction there, but I'm sure we'll be thinking about that start-finish turn 1 opportunity. This is going to go down to the wire, I'm sure.
As I believe Petter Brulak just starts the final lap, he has a 9-second gap.
They well controlled from start to finish. He got that lovely pull away, that lovely start. Avoided a little bit of the chaos which happens in turn 1 and 2, and has just simply driven his own race. Sometimes how you have to do it. And clearly, all things being equal, no last lap disconnects again. He's going to go to a very well-deserved victory.
I think there's going to be a bit of a commentator's curse. I hope there isn't. But,
hopefully not. Hopefully not at all. No.
I mean, when he did disconnect 2 weeks ago, it's because we were saying that he was driving a spectacular race. But, hopefully, fingers crossed, he stays on track, stays in the circle. I should say more.
Indeed. So at the moment, there's something going on down at turn 1 that might have been a back marker. Let's have a look here. We've got Sen Smith, Paul Joseph, and John McLean all very close up together.
Smith's lost his front wing.
Oh, yes, I've just seen that. That is
McLean! He's gone off!
McLean!
He's into the wall, he's lost his front wing as well. Everyone losing their front wing on the final lap.
Everyone saved the chaos for a little last lap fun and games. Smith may be able to just about maintain 12 here if he keeps his car nice and controlled. Wait and see.
Sorry, but there's a battle for 16th. Jesper Tolberg, Rob Mason, and I've just heard that Petter Brulak has won the race.
Action everywhere. We've been able to focus on him crossing the line, taking the checkered
That
flag.
was a really quick lap. I do apologise for missing it, but Petter Brulak takes yet another win, 10 seconds ahead of Scott Beresford, with Fran Lopez in 3rd and Jonathan Hampson 4th, David Johnson 5th, Wally Pelkonen in 6th, Nico Schweitzer on his debut in 7th, James Kirk's going to get 8th for Bastvik, with Ben Warren in 9th, Mark Wicks 10th, Paul Joseph 11th, Rocky Hoekstra battle behind with Sven Smits and Toy Oyala, but he's just going to get 12th with Sven Smits coming home 13th, Toy Oyala 14th.
Jesper Tolberg, he's actually taken 15th on this lap in a lovely little move across the line.
Yes, because John McLean lost his front wing in turn 4.
That's right.
And John McLean gets 16th, Rob Mason 17th, Pedro Gomez 18th, Timo Turco 19th, and Ben Hackson rounds up the top 20. There's action everywhere. I do apologise for us missing the checkered flag there.
I think it's saying something though, isn't it? I mean, there's still little scraps even now as the final few cars round the last
and Rick
turner.
Scott still battling.
Exactly.
Down in 24th and 25th.
So we could see obviously from qualifying through practice that a lot of the cars are really close together there, and it's given us a superb little race. Absolutely. I mean, it's saying something that we missed the leader take the checkered flag because of a battle down for the last few points. What a superb race we've seen there.
I will quickly count out our DNFs. We have Ben Willis with suspension damage, same with Thomas Fadler and Roy Verzil. Matthew Klipp just DNF, not quite sure what happened there, with Marco Vandenbroek running out of fuel, it seems.
Disastrous, that's not what you want.
But congratulations to Petter Brulak. I'll have to write these names down quickly. I always forget to do this, mostly.
But yes, we had Petter Brulak from Scott Beresford, and I was just about to say James Johnson, but he was a lapped car.
Fran Lopez, I believe?
I think so, yes.
Why does my pen not work?
Best laid plans and all that, am I right? But there we are. So that was race 1. All sorts of action up and down the field, and it all kicked off from lap 1, turn 1. Just that little touch compromised Johnson in his race there. We have a reverse grid here. We'll have to wait and see what the magic number is. But with so many cars finishing so close together, it's going to be really interesting to see, obviously, how these guys who are fighting over the prospect of a point, let alone anything else, finish off this second race here and start. It should be a real prospect to see what happens next.
Indeed. We're just waiting on the reverse grid number. So that will depict the grid for race 2. And it will also mean that Petter Brulak will be forced down the field. And it'll be an absolute pleasure to see him do what he did in China 2 weeks ago, where he went from, I want to say it was 16 or 17, up to the lead within the first couple of laps. It was incredible.
Also, just like to mention, we mentioned earlier on in qualifying, Scott Beresford obviously has had a very impressive campaign so far, podium finishes. He has now had, since he's now finished in second place again this round, let me count here, 1, 2, 3, 4 second place finishes this year. Quite something. Hopefully he won't be the bridesmaid all the time. Who knows? This may be the opportunity for him to make himself the bride. We will see if that analogy works. We will have to wait and see. Now, we've just had a tweet. Oh, Tom Old Fruit. I don't know why I've called you Old Fruit, but let's go with it.
Reverse grid is 18 quickly. So Pedro Gomez on pole from Rob Mason, John McLean, Jesper Tolberg, Tomo Oyala, Sven Smits, Wopke Hoekstra, Paul Joseph, Mark Wicks, and Ben Warren.
So 2 off the first back that Petter could go. It was around there that obviously he started in race 2 at China. He still went through to the front there. Let's see if he can do it again. But no, as I was saying, we've had a tweet, good sir. A mid-race tweet. Feel free to tweet in your questions or comments, whatever you like, to @GPVWC using hashtag FC. It's from one Mr. Lewis Redshaw, our cameraman, he wants us to send him some wine. I didn't realise you were a wine connoisseur, Mr. Redshaw.
I don't drink anything, mate.
Oh, well, there you are.
Oh god,
Not
don't tell us
fussy.
the wrong people.
Well, not that, but
You end up drinking white spirit. But yes, we are planning on having a bit of a party this weekend, aren't we? And of course, drinks around for everyone.
Of course.
Oh, yay.
Lewis, you're not going to get that drunk. You're driving the next day.
No.
Well, yeah, we're going go-karting, and you're driving us there because you won't let anyone else drive. Why? Why won't you let anyone else drive?
I've heard what you're like as a driver, for one,
Oh.
Mr. Jacobs. And I've seen you race enough, so...
Ooh. Mate, I've only driven drunk once, and that was on the server.
Oh, you guys.
And
You're not supposed to admit this now.
No, exactly.
Sim racing. I do not
Oh, dear.
drive drunk in real life. That is against the law, and incredibly dangerous.
And we, of course, do not condone it whatsoever.
Indeed.
Dropping one rather there, aren't we? Oh, well.
Yes. Let's forget this ever happened and just continue on.
I think that's one way to go. We've had another tweet. Goodness gracious me. It's Mr. Matt Jacobs again, Tom's brother.
Oh no, I'm not reading this out.
Oh dear, I won't either. It's a bit derogatory. Tut tut. We don't want this.
Yeah, we don't want to offend any of our viewers.
Indeed. Anyway, but here we go. So we're just entering a final 2 minutes of warm-up for the second race. We obviously have our pole sitter for race 2, which was Mr. P18, which was Pedro Gomez. And he had some pretty good pace on him during the race. He was involved in a few battles along the way as well. So we will have to wait and see what basically happens.
I will also say that he was in the battle we were looking at when Burlak crossed the line.
Yes, indeed.
Of course, we did say that this could be for a pole position for race 2, and it was.
It was. How about that?
Every little position is vital.
Absolutely.
In the world of sim racing, and in real world as well.
Of course. Yeah, these reverse grid races, they really do spice things up, which is really nice, because the guys who aren't ultimately the fastest with setups or just general pace, whatever else, it gives them a real chance to get up in amongst the podium places, and in general it just makes for a really interesting race. Just that odd wild card factor. We'll have to see how this one pans out, but we've got, again, a lot of very quick, experienced guys in this field, and I'm sure they'll all be sensible. I think on the whole it was a rather mature drive from everyone in that one. No real spats or dramas, which is what we like to see. No drama lines.
There have been better, cleaner races than the one we've just seen, but there've also been many worse incidents and races in the past.
Yes, I mean, that's just one of those things, though, isn't it? Sometimes. I mean, we had that moment of lag during the race, of course. That could have caused all sorts of drama. In fact, I remember last year in the Masters, I was driving against Mr. Timu Toika at Sebring, server lag, and we both went flipping off the corner. It was wonderful. That's racing for you. You've got to work with what you get, I guess. But
I think I've just received another tweet.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, as warm-up is just completed, we'll have time to read it out if we do have one.
I think it was more of a personal tweet.
Personal tweet. I believe that was the one that I decided not to mention.
Attention, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Oh dear. Anyway, the grid is now forming for race 2. We have 26 seconds for everyone to get
apparently,
on the grid.
James Kirk is not in the server.
Oh dear. Did he disconnect or something? I'm just having a quick look through the logs and been told, yes, that's a disaster.
That means that he cannot take part in this race since the server is now locked. No one's allowed in. And that is disastrous.
That is. He was P8, I believe.
Yes, he was.
In the last round, so everyone, although they won't get bumped up physically on the grid, they will get a little nudge on the grid nonetheless.
Right, should we do the grid? There are now 35 drivers.
Indeed, as there were before. Hang on. 35.
No, we were at 37 before. Were we? No, we were at 35. I do apologise. I think that our minds are going a bit mental.
Indeed.
I'll do the first 18.
Yes, why not? Why not?
Right, on pole for Zerrick Racing is Pedro Gomez. Rob Mason is second for YTF1, with John McLean in third for Bastwick Grand Prix. James Kirk's teammate, so that's not going to be very good for Bastwick. Jesper Tolberg, fourth for Small Power, with his teammate Tommy Oyala in fifth. Sven Smits from JRT is in 6th, Rocky Hoekstra 7th, Paul Joseph is in 8th for Royal Blue Racing, with Mark Wicks for Katana Motorsport in 9th. Racing Team Schroeten's Ben Warren in 10th, with Nico Schweinzer in 11th. Ollie Pelkonen, Viking Racing in 12th, David Junt for THR in 13th. Jonathan Holmes for Tanskanen Racing in 14th, with Fran Lopez in 15th for Night Racing. Scott Beresford is 16th for Enterprise GP, with Petter Brulak, our last race winner, 17th for Rock Racing, and 18th is Timu Toika for Velocity Racing, narrowly missing out on opposition.
Yes, indeed. In P19 we have Ben Haxton for Viking Racing. P20 we have Hansko Mebius for Enterprise GP. P21 is Lewis McGinn for Aurora. P22 is Mike Schroeter for Racing Team Schroeter. P23 is Patrick Bonnemuller for Warp. P24 is Rick Scott for GRT Machine. P25 is Sam Jones in the second Aurora Motorsports car. P26 is Ollie Woods in the North Racing car. P27 is Mr. Simon Smith in the first back Marco Brigade cars. P28 will be a recovering James Johnson, keep an eye on him in the Tannis Racing car. P29 is Tim Trow in the Playseat Racing car. P30 is the second of the back Marco Brigade machine, driven by Marco van der Breck. P31 is Victor Silva in the Team Proline car. P32 is Roy Vazil, who's actually just had a little moment there on the warm-up lap. That's fine, we didn't see it.
I've done that. He's not going to feel good after that.
We've all done that, it's fine. We'll be able to recover his position. Everyone does it in their journey in sim racing world. Anyway, he's starting in P32 in the Zedric Racing machine. Thomas Fadler is starting in P33 as everyone bunches up through the chicane here. In P34 is Ben Willis, and that rounds out.
No, in P30, technically P35, but he's listed P37. Is Terence Gretsch for Katana Motorsport.
Indeed, very good spot there. Yes, and he is last on.
Oh, Virgil spun again.
Oh, goodness gracious me, he's gone again.
Trying to warm up the tyres a bit too much and just overcooked it.
All sorts of little dramas, as it looks like he's just about got himself slotted into place as we now prepare for the start.
Indeed, we have 2 lights, 3 lights, 4, 5, and race 2 is underway. Pedro Gomez gets a good start. Rob Mason trying to catch up. He's got a good start. He might jump Rob Mason here. I think he's down the inside.
So who's going to be lost late breakers? Looks like we've got a little contact or something at the back. Everyone's going to take a little bit of cheek curve there. John McLean has gone and taken the advantage though. He's going to turn 3, had a very good exit, very good speed. We'll have to see can he go into turn 4.
John McLean trying to go around the outside of Gomez. Oh, but that's Jesper Tolberg down the inside.
Lovely move.
Managed to capitalise on McLean making a bit of a mistake.
Meanwhile, Mason is falling down the order a bit. He's down to P7, just being overtaken by his teammate, Woodley Hoekstra, the YTF1 car.
Sven Smits is already out of the race for the incident. We were told that there was a bit of a collision at the back. It seems that the information was true, and Sven Smits is one of the casualties from that. It's Pedro Gomez defending Jesper Tolberg. Tolberg going around the outside of turn 10. Has he got the traction? He's on the curb. He's got the inside for turn 12. He's made that stick. Jesper Tolberg is in the lead. He's got his teammate Tommy Oyala just behind Pedro Gomez now. This could be a great battle.
So we've got a good scrap around P10, 11, 12 and 13. We had almost 4 wide into turn 10, the hairpin at the start of sector 3. Ollie Woods has retired as we come across the line here to complete lap 1. Jesper Tolberg leads. Pedro Gomez. Oh, Pedro Gomez has taken the lead in fact.
Oh, he seems to have more straight line speed than Tolberg. And Tolberg trying to go down the inside turn 2. And Tolberg and his teammate Oyala in Small Powers. Tolberg trying to have a look down the inside. Gomez covers. Oyala trying to go around the outside of his teammate now. He backs out just saying, Tolberg, you can have this one, I'll just cover your rear.
Looks like this is going to be a little on the brake plunge, nicely up the inside. It's turn 5. They just avoid contact. I think Tolberg's going to have him here. A little bit of a better exit coming out the inside for turn 7. It's going to be a bit narrow, but he got the job done. Nicely done.
Indeed, now Gomez has got Oyala in the back. Oyala's been looked down. No, he's backed out of the turn 9 manoeuvre.
I think so. He's going to line him up for turn 10 here. He's got a little bit of a better exit. He's got the slipstream. Will he have a look? Is he going to be on the brakes late? He is. Will he get the car stopped? Yes. Nicely done. Take more of the curve into account there. It's now a Smile Power 1-2 as we round turn 12 here on the second of 17 laps.
Got on pole position, Pedro Gomez falling down to third then. And he's under attack from Fran Lopez. No, yes, Fran Lopez, who got third position, already up to fourth position.
In fact, he's just taken third. Yes. He's got a smaller of a start there. He's going to put himself in contention. Looks like he's got a little more wing though, because Gomez is passing him just at straight line speed into turn 1.
I think Gomez had the toe from Oyala and Lopez didn't.
That's of course a factor, but he's gone deep and Lopez has got him sorted there. Oh, just enough room, but McLean has been penalised there. You have to back out of that one. And look at all the momentum he's lost. That's awful.
Down to 8th position behind Ben Warren and Watke Hoekstra after that.
Having said that, we've seen he's been quick. I'm sure that he'll be able to grab some position. Speaking of which, he's lining up Ben Warren into turn 5. Warren going quite late on the brakes, getting it stopped nicely. And we've got Mason having a little scrap here with his teammate again, Watke Hoekstra, down turn 6. And then we've got 7 cars side by side.
Oh, we've got Nico Schweinzer in 9th in this battle from, I believe that's from 5th downwards to 15th, 16th, 17th. Just see Mike Schroeder just take the skateboard.
Oh, now that's a move I'd be proud of. Lovely work, Mr. Schweinzer. Getting roundly outside into turn 10 with the brakes. Very nice.
Into 8th position. One place from where he finished last race.
But Mr. Burlak is on the march. He's in 9th, not to be outdone by Mr. Lopez, who's got himself into 3rd. He'll now be lining up Schweinzer as he's now looking at McLean himself. So it's all go, as you were saying. P5 all the way down into the midfield.
Schweinzer's looking to the inside. He's also got the toe from Ben Warren, who's gone for the inside. So it's a
double toe.
But
he's going to need some big socks.
He's brake late. He's got that car stopped nicely on the apexes. He's blocked him off. That's well done from Nico Schweinzer there.
Lovely stuff.
To take over John McLean, who's looking back on the inside for turn 4.
He's got his nose in there. He's going to have to be careful.
Oh, McLean
nice.
Taking it back. Nico.
There's the undercut. Lovely stuff.
This is what we love seeing, battling like this. All clean, all fair,
blow
all
for blow. Super stuff.
Peter Burlak is in 9th position, with David Junt narrowly behind, but being under attack from Rob Mason in 11th and Mark Wicks in 12th. Just a bit further up the field. Fran Lopez having a go at Tommy Oyala for 2nd position.
Man on the march, and it's a done deal. Now can he rein in that 1.5 second gap to Jesper? Take the lead, 1.6.
I think he can. Lopez seems to have better pace around this track than Tolberg. Tolberg, with his experience from this league and others, he can put to practical use.
Now we've got more action. It looks like Schweinzer has passed McLean for 7th place, and now Burlak is on the rear of McLean's car as we head towards turn 1. It's all go. It really is all go. It's what we like to see. It's wonderful stuff.
Indeed it is. Schweinzer's got 3 cars in his tow. He's still managed to pull away a bit.
Clearly gone for a lower downforce setup there, and it's paying dividends.
Indeed it is. Burlak in 9th. Just going to have a look at McLean. Runs a little bit wide. Down in. Ooh. I think McLean locked up a bit, not as badly as Schweinzer though.
He's still got his wing just alongside. Oh, he's very late on the brakes.
Side by side, bit of touching. He go on the outside, he's got the traction.
That is magnificent.
He's got the speed, he's got that done.
How on earth did he do that? That is fantastic. I think it was just the last race. I don't think we'd ever see anyone go around the outside there. Thank you very much, Mr. Burlak, for proving me wrong. Superb stuff. Oh, slide! Little drift. Oh, he's caught it in place. Oh, it's going from bad to worst.
He's down to 12th, 13th.
He's still in the points. Still in the points. I've got a car off ahead.
Ben Warren off at turn 10. I think
think, in recovering though, and he's got to join on the back of this fight here for what, 15th?
He was in the toe of Wopke Hoekstra, and instead of going up the back of him under braking, he decided to take to the grass and run wide. Very smart move.
We've now got Schroten and Warren fighting amongst each other. These guys are teammates, each other off the road. Proper disaster. Anyway, that's all sorted itself out quite nicely. We now have Wanamula, Mason and Nebius fighting over what will be 10th, 13th, 11th, 12th and 13th. It looks like Mason's gone to the inside, 3 wide.
Sorry, but Bruya is up into 6th, and Nico managed to overtake Nico Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger's down the inside of 3. There's action everywhere.
Absolutely. John McLean has expired, unfortunately, for the race, which is a great shame. Luck not going his way there, but the cookie crumbles.
Bruyak's managed to get through on Schweinsteiger. Now it's David Junt having a bit of a peek. I'm just seeing how there's a bit of a gap, not much, but I think Nico, he's going to fight for the position because Junt isn't that much faster than him. Not as fast as Brulak is. So I think Schweinsteiger's going to defend hard, or he may play it smart and let Junt go and just try and get speed.
Well, so obviously this is a replay, almost in the same positions. In fact, no, not quite, almost a replay in the same positions. So race 1, these two going at it, hammer and tongs again. Wonderful.
I've just looked up to the leader, Jesper Tolberg. It's only 4 tenths ahead of Fran Lopez now.
Looks like Lopez is reeling him in, and looks like Jesper was a little wide on exit as she came, but he's got it gathered together.
I think Lopez has managed to gain a whole second this lap.
It's quite something, evidently. In clean air, that car is working really well, and in the slipstream, it is just suckering up.
Lopez going for the outside.
Looks like Jesper was laced fast on the brakes there through 2, lining up for 3. Will Lopez look to get up the inside? He's just a bit too far back.
I've had to sit back and I've been on the edge of my seat for too long now.
I think that's a fair shout. And we're only a third of the way through.
It's incredible. It's incredible racing. I haven't seen racing like this in a long, long time.
I know, and it's good stuff to see. Meanwhile, Burlak is on the march. He's now into P5, hunting down Gomez.
And Hoekstra's managed to get past David Junt for 7th position.
In fact, no, Hoekstra has gone back a bit.
Has he?
Yes, he was in P6. Schweinsteiger's taken, and is now defending against Junt.
Oh, Hoekstra's now... Actually, Junt's got past Hoekstra now, so that's another position Hoekstra has lost.
Meanwhile, it looks like Lopez is getting closer and closer to Tolberg. We've got a back marker coming up. That's Straub in the 2nd place car. As we go around turn 12 here, I think we're going to have a wing-dang doodle into turn 1 again. What I like to see.
Wing-dang doodles.
Wing-dang doodles. See who gives it Jandal out of this chicane. Looks like... it's a service that you have to provide. Here we go. So Lopez, it looks like they've got pretty similar exits. Straub sensibly getting well out the way. No slipstream for either of them as we run down towards turn 1. Here comes Lopez, well in the slipstream. Tolberg sitting duck, having to make hold of his own air. He's gone to the outside. That is quite something. Can he get it stopped? Oh, I think he's just got a bit too
deep. Have the line around the outside turn 2, inside of turn 3.
Fantastic.
Side by side racing.
Hacked off there. That was closer than close, and still they're going.
Oh, Tolberg going down the inside. I think he's just going to say tough luck to Lopez.
I think so as well.
You ain't getting past me.
But we're still battling, going into turn 5. Can Lopez pull a Burlak around the outside? We'll have to see. We've got Sam Jones, another back marker coming up. We'll have to see how things pan out. He's going up the inside. He's got 2 wheels on the grass. Thinking of a little bit of rallycross here.
It's starting to get a bit aggressive.
It is. A little bit of bump. A little bit of bump, but no run, which is what we approve of. But as we approach turn 10, all go for the lead. As Lopez lays on the brakes using the curb. I don't think he'll be able to hang it around the outside there. Impressive if he could. Meanwhile, Petter continuing on the march. He's now up to P4. I think we're going to have a 3-way fight for the lead before long. Oh, this is warming up nicely.
I think Oyala, Jesper's teammates, also catching him. He's only 1.4 behind, and he seems definitely closer going into the chicane now. Before turn 16, the final corner. Tolberg's managed to pull a bit out from Lopez, but they're approaching, as you said, Sam Jones. Tolberg go for the extreme inside line. Lopez, straight line speed like
he's going all the way.
He's across the pit. He's already round.
That is quite something.
was going to say, you got a bit of a slide on around turn 1. The
Now,
Tolberg's all over the rear. Sorry,
would
Joe.
that be legal? Would that overtake be legal?
I think that would be legal because it is still part of the racetrack.
Ah, very good. Inside those white lines. Fair enough. Well, use all the track and everything to your disposal to get the job done, and he has done. He may need to because obviously Mr. Burlack is on the march. We've now had a complete switcheroo. So from 2 small powers, these 1 and 2, we've now got a Knight followed by 2 small powers. With a fast-moving walk racing car homing in on both of them as well.
Indeed.
So all go. Meanwhile, things have shuffled along a bit. Mr. Schweitzer is now being chased again by Mr. Jump, but this time for P6 and 7, so they've both been able to gain.
And they're also catching Pedro Gomez as well. I believe he did start on pole. Our pole man slipping a little bit further down the field for the moment. Oh, sorry, I just seen battle for first. Lopez went a bit wide into turn 4. No.
Turn 12.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to do the calculations in my head. And Tolberg's right on the back of him now. Around the final. Oh, hang on! I just no, it's a bit of lag. Antonio Ayala managing to get past Sam Jones. No contact. Lopez now going for the extreme inside, replicating what Tolberg did the lap before. But Lopez has just got the straight line speed.
And now we've got a move here for P8 between Hansko Mebius, Whoopke Hoekstra, well and truly under the gearbox as we go across the start finish. And here comes Pakkanen with Holmes, and here comes Pelkonen. He's having a look with 3 wide again down into turn 1. I think Mebius, Holmes is just going to have a sit back and watch. Oh, a little touch, but they survived.
And Holmes just managed to get past
there. Very wise, just let that one happen. Just take the points, thank you very much. Moving on.
Now Mebius looking on Hoekstra with Holmes. Right on the tail of it. Oh, Mebius.
He had a little look. He's put Whoopke off though. There you are, and watching the back of your car, you just lose sight of where you're going, and there you are. But Whoopke's been able to gather that in nicely through the exit of turn 5 as we head towards 6 and now into 7. Don't think there's going to be any way through there. Mebius.
Looking further down the field. No, that's the battle you're on about. Jonathan Holmes looking for Mebius, trying to take ninth position. Mebius trying to go down the inside of Whoopke Hoekstra for 8th. And he's got to make that stick. It was a bit of a lunge, I'd say, but very well done there.
They're just moving forward to P5. We now have a 3-way fight for 5th. Pedro Gomez, Nico Schweitzer and David Yunt all together. Now we know Nico's car evidently has got lovely top end speed, perhaps a little less wing, who knows, but he's surely going to have a look at him down into turn 1. Here we go, not using the pit lane as Fran did a moment ago. Who's going to be last of the late breakers? It's going to be Pedro. Nicely covered.
Schweitzer's gone a little bit wide, but he's managed to cover the apex for turn 2 from Junt. And right now it's just followed the leader.
It is indeed, but bear in mind we have Petter who is reeling in Mr. Olger in P3, and it's going to be quite a fight. In fact, don't deceive me, we have just had a spin at the back of the field.
Oh yeah, Scott Beresford, I believe that's turn 1. May have just locked the rears and spun. But he's now overtaking the back marker, but is it Tim Stroud?
I believe so.
Stroud. But yes, speaking of Burlack in 3rd, even the battle for 2nd and 1st, there's still nose to tail.
Absolutely, this is going to go down to the wire, I'm sure. We're just coming up towards 2/3 of the way through this race, and well, there's less than 3 seconds between 1st and 4th. Now, will Olger play the wingman and try and allow... Oh, Jesper's got ahead of Lopez. Jesper's got ahead of Lopez for the lead. We didn't quite see when that happened, but that deal has been done. And he's got a bit of a gap going on to the start finish. I'd say he's probably going to be safe for turn 1.
But now Lopez gets to use his straight line speed.
He does indeed.
He is catching them
massively through that hole of slipstream air, but just a little bit too far back for this time round.
I was also looking at Petter Brujak. He had the toe on Tommy Oyala, but could not get close enough to do a manoeuvre.
And now we've had more changes as all that's been going on. Nico Schweitzer now up to 5th. In fact, he's taken a little bit of a countryside line there, but he's held that together nicely. It looks like Pedro Gomez has been overtaken by both Yunt and Schweitzer. These two are still going hammer and tongs at it, as I believe Mr. Burlack Oh, he's just side by side going down into turn 7. Who's going to hold onto that position?
I think
takes
he's
it.
got a bit wide.
It's going to be side by side. Who's going to have the bigger hook on his? Oh, Olger, look at that. Look at that.
I want to know what that was there, Chuggy. I really want to know.
Cojones. There you are. Probably I can't speak.
You went a bit.
Anyway, well, that move was hot, and the job has been done. And Olger regaining that 3rd place. That is a move. One corner. Normally it's hard enough to go through just on your own. That though 2 cars side by side, but Burlak is not giving up. Let's see how this one plays out. It's playing lovely for Jesper. He's doing a wonderful service for his teammate.
And Fran Lopez in second has just dropped back a bit. He's now almost a second back.
See, maybe a tie over heat, but it looks like Burlak, he's side by side. He's got the slipstream. Will he be lighter on the brakes? Oh, they're about on the same side.
Side by side.
Side by side
into turn 2. Oh, I think Oyala had to give it up a bit.
Just a bit.
He's going to fight and fight and fight.
What we like to see. Lovely scrap here for the podium positions. Burlak is on the march. Now, a change for P5 and 6. Junt has got Schweitzer in possibly turn 1. Didn't quite catch that. But this battle's still going on. And we've got, remember, Gomez and Nebius not that far behind. And we've got a real lovely scrap here from P5, probably all the way down to about 12 or 13. Lots of cars all close together. One moment, everyone could be benefiting from a little spin or who knows what.
Indeed. Lopez has managed to catch back up to Tolberg, gaining a few tenths in the first 2 sectors. So I'm just looking at battles down. Nebius having it's the trick of the camera angle. Oh no, I think that was a back mark getting out of the way. Yep, Sam Jones. Just saw him run straight off at turn 10. But Holmes is in 9th, is attacking Nebius for 8th. Going into the chicane, nose to tail. I don't know which. I think Holmes might have the better straight line speed, of course. Holmes for Tanscan, who are currently leading the championship. In the toe, he's going to look down to the inside for turn 1. Side by side. Holmes slightly ahead. Brakes later. Maybe just tries to brake late, but has to give position. Holmes nicely done for 8th position there.
Absolutely sensible stuff. You know, we're 3/4 of the way through this race now. No point throwing all your hard work away. You know, potential of a points finish for could possibly be a couple extra points. Indeed. The sensible stuff. Sensible stuff.
I mean, we currently have 3 laps remaining after this one. So Patrick Vannemuller in 12th position, having a Hawoki Hoekstra in 11th, down into turn 7.
They're nice and tidy from both of them there. I think Vannemuller will be thinking about turn 10. Lovely slipstream off 9. Let's get the corner done right. It's gone a little wide. That might cost a little bit, but yeah, I don't think he'll have a chance this time round. Oh, look at that on the brakes. Goodness gracious, that is a very, very good car.
Are they catching Ollie Pelconen? I think there might be as... Oh, we did say that Jonathan Holmes did indeed get past. Maybe I just saw that. Again. Vannemuller on the back. Oh! Could have been a bit of a tap there. Going a bit wide.
A little bit sideways there. Burlak. Fastest lap of the race. Now he's in free air. We're going to have a proper fight here for P2 and P1. It's going to be a case of who gets there first.
Indeed, I think Lopez is quite big in Burlak's sights at the moment. I mean, there is 3 laps to go. That's including this one.
Absolutely. We've got lapped traffic in play as well. We've got Willis and one of the back Parker Brigade cars as we go down towards turn 7. Tolberg will probably going, oh, what on earth is all
Willis.
this?
Oh,
goodness! Oh, and he's hit Tolberg!
Tolberg's down to 2nd, down to 3rd.
That was a bit of a drama.
Fran Lopez takes the lead. I don't know what quite happened there. It's just...
dramas everywhere. But Fran Lopez, the big beneficiary out of that. Jesper going to be certainly unhappy with that one.
Yep.
But he's still in the hunt. Still in the hunt. He's still got a podium position. We now have Burlak and Lopez, and Burlak has definitely gained on this lap. Definitely, he's also been a beneficiary of that little moment there.
Indeed.
We've got everything to play for. Just a few laps to go. Let's see who can come out top in this one.
Because Tolberg's not that far back after that instance, so he could catch Burlak. No, I was thinking of Lopez when I say Tolberg had better straight line speed.
Indeed, about a second now, covering first to second and second to third, so still quite close. With a few laps remaining, just one little touch, you know, that could be everything. So
it's going to go down to the wire.
Absolutely. Looking a little bit further back in the field, we've got a little fight going on for P7 between Holmes and Gomez. Holmes just pulling a move off nicely there through turns 1, 2 and 3. Gomez still putting in a great effort. He was our pole man, and he's going to get himself a nice bag of points here, all things being equal. Not to bring the curse of the commentator into things. It continues to be nice little scraps through the midfield, and Holmes now going to be surely looking at the potential passing opportunity on Schweitzer at some point in the next few laps.
And Burlak in second position is now half a second, actually less than that now, behind Fran Lopez.
He's gained half a second in 2 sectors. This man is on fire.
Burlak can pretty much just stick his arm out the cockpit and touch Lopez's car.
It is getting that way. And all right under the gearbox there.
I think Lopez might have worse tyre wear. He's a bit slow through the slow corners.
Certainly looks like he's losing out on traction. Burlak taking a little bit of a wide line there, but here we go. Lopez going immediately defensive. I don't think it's going to help him though. It may be a case of and here we go. Our car coming out the pit lane. This could be disastrous. Let's see. Will the back marker be sensible? Yes, he is. Thank goodness. That could be. That could have been an accident in motion. But it looks like Burlak's going to be able to capitalise irrespective. He's right under Lopez's gearbox now. Going around turn 3, heading for 4. This is going to be fascinating.
Jonathan Holmes in 7th position is battling with Nico Schweitzer. Holmes managed to get past. Oh, he's on the inside of turn 3.
Lovely stuff.
Just currently flicking back between these battles. Holmes is going to have to defend from Schweitzer. Unfortunately, doesn't want to give that position up. I think he may have to. He's going to go for the undercut again. I've seen him do that twice now.
So lovely racecraft here, lovely stuff. Thinking about the move before it's even happened, getting the car positioned properly for it. Great stuff.
Coming down to turn 10, Burlak.
And Lopez. Oh, Burlak's later on the brakes into turn 10.
He's gone wide. Lopez didn't get a good traction out of that corner, and I think Jesper Tolberg's caught right up this. This is going to be close between the top 3.
It is indeed, and we've only got a few corners remaining. It could go to anyone. Oh, a little touch! Oh, Burlak, he's lost the back of the car there. Can Tolberg capitalise? I think he's going to have to scrub his momentum for the corner there. Here comes Lopez around turn 16.
And Lopez round the final corner to take the win for race 2, taking it from Burlak. At the final moment, Burlak second. Great driving from 17th, starting this race with Tolberg taking 3rd after that back marker incident. I'm sure he'll be very disappointed with that, but great drive nonetheless with his teammate coming in 4th for Small Palace. Good points for the team.
Absolutely, and just to mention, a little fight for 6th place. Holmes did come ahead of Schweitzer there. David Junt ahead of them, with Tommy Olger for Small Palace Racing in 4th place.
Action up and down the field.
Absolutely, as they cross the line, we have P8 Ollie Pelkonen for Viking, P9 Patrick Wanamula, P10 Hansko Mebius, P11 Paul Joseph, P12 Wopke Hoekstra, P13 Pedro Gomez, P14 Mark Wicks, and finally the final points paying position of the evening, Mike Schroep in 15.
Apologies if you could hear the dog, that will stop from after this broadcast. I am moving.
He's moving. He's not doing anything to the dog.
No. I'm not taking out my dog.
Oh, well, there you go. So we actually had quite a few retirements in that race. We didn't catch all of them. We had John McLean, Timo Toika, Ben Hackerson, Rick Scott, Sven Smith, Ollie Wood, Tom Svedler, and James Johnson all retiring in that second race. Everyone down to P27 finishing though. Well done, one and all. Yes, it's cool. That was quite something, wasn't it?
Indeed it was. Question for you, who was your star driver?
really difficult, there was the race winners. Obviously, they had pulled off an amazing job there to go in those positions for him. Lopez, he had a very, very strong second race there. He was constantly dicing with Jesper and Petter towards the end there. But you have to also keep an eye out for Nico Schweitzer. His first two races here in Formula Challenge, top 10 finishes. You can't say much better than that. But for me, I think overall, just for pure domination, Petter, just car set up from start to finish, and he's got a great points haul as a result.
I agree. I think he took the triple in race 1. He also got pole position and second place in race 2, starting from 17th. You can't deny him that he's had some great drives.
Absolutely, he's evidently got that car absolutely hooked up and deservedly getting the results.
And I believe he is now fighting for the title, since James Johnson didn't get any points and he was leading it by 30 points to...
That's a very good point. Yeah,
was it
double? Hang on, let me fire up the standings here. That's a very good point. Obviously, Johnson with a lot of misfortune tonight. He scored no points whatsoever, finishing in P20, I believe, at the start. And obviously, he retired in the second race. That's his first double points non-finish of the season. So Petter playing himself well into contention here. We have got a very interesting season coming up, I'm sure, as we start the European leg.
We will await another minute or two for any interviewees. Of course, the interviews for top 3 in both race 1 and 2, but that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's only 4 different people.
Indeed, as it happens. Yeah, I think that says a lot, though, to be honest. It's always nice to recognise those who've clearly, they spent the time, they've got the car working nicely, and, they're reaping the rewards, which is good to see.
Indeed.
But no, I think, to be fair, though, it's a shame we can't interview everyone, because there were so many great battles up and down the field. That's my kind of racing. Fair, okay, the odd contact, little bump here and there, but no, great stuff to see. Really, really impressed from everyone today. Well done.
I believe we have David Junt awaiting an interview. No, he did not get a top 3, so I'm afraid he won't be allowed to be interviewed. We have a top 3 rule that is on GPVWC. We'll wait for another couple of seconds to half a minute for any more. But
it appears that everyone doesn't want to be interviewed. What a shame, because we've got so much to discuss after 2 great races.
Yeah, I mean, last round we did have a few people in the interview, but we already started wrapping it up, so we couldn't really do it.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
But no, honestly though, I was trying to make notes as we were going during that, and I've got some rough scribbles of things which are frankly illegible. Just honestly, so much action going up and down the field. And what I really liked, especially in the first race, is drivers were battling even for the non-points playing positions, for pride, for honour. And, that's the great kind of racing you'll see at, GPVWC, if you're at all interested. And of course, if you're watching this and you want to get involved, feel free, jump over to gpvwc.com, sign up to the website and the forums, and get yourself involved. We have the Open Series for those drivers looking to get started and make an impression amongst the team bosses. We have the Career Ladder, full progression from GP2 style cars in Formula Challenge all the way up to Formula 1 style cars in the Super League. And of course, we have a whole range of other racing, be it touring cars, as well as the Master Series, and all sorts of different formula going on in there as well.
Indeed.
So great stuff.
Of course, the Master Series this year is comprised of NASCAR, IndyCar, Le Mans, touring cars. It's to find who's the best driver out of the GPVWC lot, and the first round was great fun.
Absolutely. And
some
500 miles of Daytona. That was quite a fun evening, I'll say that.
It's 500 miles of Indy next.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how things go.
Yeah, I think we're not going to have any interviewees today, which is unfortunate, because we probably had some great questions lined up for them. But unfortunately, they're a bit shy, I think.
Don't be shy, guys.
So we're going to wrap things up. Next round is the infamous track of Monaco. And of course, last year it did rain a lot, so we could expect something then. I will say I'm not quite sure if there'll be a broadcast. I myself will not be able to attend unless I legally freeload off someone's internet, which I may be able to do. But
again, things you don't want to mention. You know.
No. It's perfectly fair. It's within contract that they can open up their network. It's BT, and I can basically use it as a BT hotspot. It's perfectly legal. It's what they sign into in the contract. But yes, so thank you very much for watching. I've been Thomas Jacobs, and joining me this evening was Matthew Williams and Lewis Redshaw on the cameras. Sorry for talking over you there, Shaggy.
No, not at all. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
We will hopefully see you in 2 weeks' time for the 6th round of the GPVWC Formula Challenge. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.